Okay, several things before this. Okay, one, don't expect these things to show up in any future videos because I wanted to get rid of them so I can move this along. And two, the circumstances of why this video was made. Okay, so let's go start with something similar, I guess. So some time ago, my brother was telling me that, oh, well, I was wondering that since subscribe to you and all, like, why don't you make more videos based on the highest video you have? This is some approximation of what he said, and so I thought about it. Well, first of all, that video was an anomaly, but and so I thought to myself, okay, what videos could I make more of? And then I was thinking, okay, I'm going to watch Avatar: Last Airbender because I haven't seen the series in a long time. Might as well get to it. And then right there, I thought to myself, wait a minute. I made my My Little Pony videos, so why don't I make my My Little Pony videos, but for this show? And that's where this video comes from. So, unlike with Friendship is Magic, I am way too familiar with Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, since I have watched them while they're still new. So, it's really hard for me to forget most episodes, most characters, in quite a lot of the famous moments. So, here's what I'm going to do. So, for each of the seasons of Avatar: Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, I'm going to do a similar method that I've been doing my Little Pony videos. That being my favorite and least favorite episodes, my favorite and least favorite characters, and my favorite and least favorite moments. Because Avatar: Last Airbender doesn't have musicals or any it's not a musical. I'm not going to do a favorite song. So just doing those 6 categories. I'm not going to go rank each episode. Not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about each individual episode. Not at all. This is more like my opinions to the whole season. So, or in this case, the whole book, because that's what they call the seasons. And they call chapters to the episodes, but I'm still going to refer to them as seasons and episodes. Okay, so Avatar: Last Airbender. Okay, so this is a huge show, okay? So, I remember watching it when it was still new. It was awesome. And my brother actually doesn't really care that much about it. But luckily my friend Adiel does. Adiel, if you're watching, what's up? Anyway. Yeah, very, very iconic show to the point that of all the time it was in Netflix, it has the longest record for being in the top 10 Netflix. That's how big the show is. And it's not going to be broken anytime ever, probably. Unless Legend of Korra breaks it, which I doubt. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these things I just mentioned, which are the books. So let's go start with Book 1, Water. Okay. It started the whole series, established a lot of lore, and that's kind of the reason why I like this show, because of the lore. Same thing with Pony. There's a lot of lore it could pull from. Where unlike Pony, this show can absolutely pull from its lore easily. Too bad Pony doesn't really do that much, which is, oh well. So before we go into the various categories, I'm going to say for characters, I am not going to say what my favorite characters are as in the main characters. So I'm not going to say which of the main characters is my favorite character, because that's kind of cheating. And plus, we already know who the best characters are, but I'm going to mention this later. So, my favorite episode, I'm gonna start with the episode that really jump-started the lore. Episode 3, the Southern Air Temple. This actually I guess jump-started the lore. I mean, yeah, the first 2 episodes have a lot have a lot of lore that they're setting up, but the 3rd episode is when it's really starting to get going. That's the crank before things starting going. Yeah, and also very, very iconic episode when it shows, especially the part where Aang goes to the Avatar state for the first time, and noticing the Firebender is there, and Gyatso was the skeleton of Gyatso was just sitting there, showing that Gyatso must have dealt with a lot of problems, but It's not known whether or not like he died by the firebenders, or if like he killed the firebenders himself, or he killed the firebenders, but because he can't do anything about it, or maybe like he just can't actually, you know, continue on, that he died afterwards. Because he had a skeleton of his that's actually pretty clean. Then yeah, it must have like took all the firebenders, but like he just can't continue any further. And then Aang, he's just absolutely gone bonkers. Was like, I mean, if you're like, imagine it's like if you know that like you've gone on for a long time, and then suddenly you go back to your home, the old home, and notice that everyone you know is dead for one reason or another. Yeah, it's gonna all of a sudden kind of thing. It's yeah, that's a big yikes for anyone, aka Sokka and Katara, who were right there when it happens. But yeah, start to lore how the Avatar like works, how the Avatar cycle is, all the great stuff, I guess like in a similar vein, like episode 12, The Storm, especially when like all the different parallels between like Aang and Zuko, because the show, like season 1 especially, really loves to do this, in which it has like mainly two plots, right? It has the Aang plot and the Zuko plot, and sometimes like mixing together. Sometimes they meet, sometimes they do stuff, sometimes they interact, but it's mostly an A plot B plot thing. But none of the two plots are more important than the other, as both plots are actually a big deal, and they both explain their origins, or like how they came to be. So it's actually a good backstory episode. It's kind of funny how the backstory episodes, it's on episode 12, like a bit more in the middle of the season, but like it still works. It's like you don't need for the full backstory to be on episode 1 or even episode 4. But in this case, like yeah, it's like more in the middle of the series and all the nonsense happens. But yeah, I do like this particular like both plots here. They're very, very necessary. So my least favorite episode. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the popular opinion on this one. Episode 11, The Great Divide. I don't know. That's probably the most popular option for the least favorite episode, mostly because you don't need it. Like you could just remove that episode, and nobody would notice. Honestly, even that episode has like a purpose, in which like the whole like episode is trying to tell people that the Avatar is supposed to be a mediator between people. I mean, granted, other episodes like afterwards, like say, oh, also the mediator between you know, the human and spirit worlds. No, at least before that too. Yeah, before that, I saw the mediator between like human spirits, and then there's this episode telling, oh, he's also the mediator between just like all different kinds of humans, period. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you don't really need it. It's kind of there. Which is also why I can't just, you know, name like the two tribes over there on that episode as my least favorite characters, because honestly, they're not really characters. They're just more of a huge plot device instead of a plot device. Because the plot device being, you know, their little backstory and why they're important, whatever, and why they're feuding, and in the whole plot device of getting stuck in a canyon. It's just like, it's kind of like a, not even kind of, it's like a sub-characters. That being said, my actual least favorite character this season, it's kind of, anyway, favorite character, I am not going to include the main characters on it, because one, again, as I said, that's cheating, and two, because the two best characters in the series are already, like, showcased very early on. And everybody knows that best character is Iroh, and second best character is Appa. Appa for literally and figuratively carrying the entire team, and Iroh for just carrying. So, outside of the best character in the series, who is my favorite character? Okay, so I got two. Honestly, I'm gonna start with Roku. Because again... Sorry, I have to do that. I have to do it.
Gotta love it, gotta have one of these guys. It's Flamewell fucking Lore Man.
Freaking Lore Man. I guess you could call it Ally of Justice Lore Man. I'm sorry, Rada. I have to include that freaking quote of yours. Anyway. Yeah. Mentor character. Like, this thing, like, nobody respects anger immediately. Freaking nobody. Maybe Katara, yeah, but you already know she's like the motherly type of character. She kind of has to anyway. But, like, nobody really respects anger like, without any context. Without anyone saying, oh, he's the Avatar, and then, like, respect. But it's more like, wait a minute, you look like an Airbender. And if you're an Airbender, that means you're the Avatar. Then respect. But no. Meanwhile, Roku, like, everyone seems to evolve with Roku, already respects him, because he already know he's, like, the real Avatar. Like, with John, like, he refused to teach Aang firebending, with good reason, but when Roku, like, when he sees Roku, he's like, hey, yo, teach me some firebending, okay? Okay. And then immediately afterward, John is like, okay, I teach you now. So, sorry, stupid accents are stupid, but I want to make a point across. But for real, though, my favorite character is Boomy, because holy crap, this dude is freaking hilarious. Sorry, but I like funny characters. Not necessarily like comic relief characters, but like just relief characters. And this dude's hilarious. He's like the kind of guy that's like, you take no nonsense, but he gives nonsense to you. So he's what Aang calls a mad genius, and that's kind of his character. He's a mad genius, but that's why he's funny. He's a really awesome character. So I know it's not like a one-time character. He's not, but in this particular episode, this particular season, he is. But again, like with everything in this series, everything will come together. So my least favorite character, I'm gonna start off with a one-off character. In episode 6, there's like the Warden that keeps all the Earthbenders in his ship, trying to break their spirits and everything. That ain't cool, but then again, the Fogger Nation. But yeah, broke everyone's spirits to the point that not even Katara's motivational speeches are doing anything. I mean, that's a freaking excellent tactic if you're this maniacal villain or whatever. I mean, if it works, right? But still, not cool. I mean, Fire Nation, of course he's not cool. He's, fire, but... anyway, jokes aside, and honestly, like, out of main actual characters that matter, I don't know about you, but like Pacu, when he shows up, he ain't cool. I mean, like, normal people aren't exactly fond of sexist characters, but here's Pacu, being the water-bending master. He ain't teaching this girl crud. It's like, no, you're disrespecting my culture in my land. Well, land. No, you go, get out, learn some healing. Come on now. Girls can't be, like, you don't have to be a girl to be a white mage. That's all I kind of want. This is why I would like to be a healer. I mean, I don't know about in real life, but like, if I were to go in an RPG setting, definitely. Because, like, if Senpai is, like, a healer, then I want to be a healer, too. Even if it's, like, a traditionally girly thing. On the opposite side of the spectrum, girls being total BAs. I mean, Katara is a good example of such if you watch the rest of the series. Heck, I watched, like, the episode after that. Or, even that episode and the episode after that. Like, Katara knows how to kick butt. So, Pacu, when you start out, you suck. But like every episode afterwards, when Katara literally, like, I wouldn't say beat the senseless out of him, but like he kind of gets it. But he's actually kind of cool afterwards. So my favorite moment. Okay, this is kind of a very quick scene. So, I mean, granted, the show itself can be classified as a good my favorite moment because it's freaking Avatar: The Last Airbender. Of course, look, that whole show is great. But if you're going just like slightly deeper, some more subtle, nuanced thing, my favorite moments in episode 9 when they meet the pirates. There's a huge smoke screen that comes along, and then Sokka and Aang want to find each other within the smoke, but then Aang, he just dispels the smoke screen, and then he notices, oh wait a minute, I'm surrounded by pirates, and then he puts the smoke back, and he says, never mind. I'm sorry, but like that section alone made me laugh so hard that has to be considered a favorite moment. I mean, also in episode 15, like the entire Aang Zuko fight in itself. I mean, granted, Aang and Zuko fight a lot, but like, I think I like this particular fight more. I can't really explain why. I just really like it more. I mean, just the choreography just is excellent. But yeah, if I was my favorite Zuko fight season 1, it's that one. Okay, least favorite moment. Again, this is after our last Airbender. Really hard to find a bad moment, but I do have a skip moment. So if you wonder what a skip moment is, at some point in My Little Pony, like there's a scene in the Equestria Games episode where Spike really wants to do the national anthem of Cloudsdale despite not knowing it, without realizing it's for Cloudsdale, and then he just gets like stage fright. He doesn't know what to do. What else? The spotlight's on him. And I'm like, I don't want to see this guy embarrassing himself. Hecka no. Hecka no. And now from there, I call it a skip moment because it's a skip moment. And usually, skip moments are at least favorite moments. Because if I have to skip it to continue, then I'm not gonna like it. That being said, this season of Atla has a bit of a skip moment. Like, granted, I went back to see see that moment again, but if I have to initially fast forward it, then a skip moment. Episode 16, when the gang goes on to the little Fire Nation festival, you see this cool little magician dude, or illusionist or whatever. He was, fire bending a dragon, and just showing off really, because magician, right? He has Katara sit in a chair. I mean, anonymously. Katara sit in a chair, and he's pretending to, not be able to control the dragon, and Aang just pops in and saves her. Really realizing that's supposed to be an act. Like, if that's supposed to be on purpose. But, yeah. I mean, I knew that was being on purpose, and because I knew that it was supposed to be on purpose, then it's a skip moment. Plus, because of Aang just like... I mean, yeah, Aang really likes Katara. That's already well known for, like, just the first second, like, you see Aang and Katara meet. But, I don't know, that kind of, just, like, impulse is what, like, made, like, get caught in that episode. And also, like, one episode prior to that, when, the gang meet Bato, the mistress gives Aang a map to give to Bato, and Aang just, like, selfish because he likes his Katara to be around with him all the time, so he just hides the map and not notices it, and everyone just calls him a traitor or something because we're hiding the map and they wanted to see your dad, but then... Yeah. That's it. That's it for this. So before I get to the end of the episode, actually, believe it or not, while I was watching through, I looked at episode 7, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I don't remember this episode at all. I don't remember if, I don't know if I'm going to be forgetting certain episodes or not realizing certain episodes exist in books 2 and 3. I doubt for 3, but for 2, it's possible. But, like, for episode 7, I actually don't remember at all. Like, I know about Koda, the Face Stealer, and how Aang had to come back eventually. I didn't know there was this panda spirit involved. But yeah, I don't remember the episode at all. So, yeah, that was a new experience. Was it necessary? I mean, granted, the bells gets brought back, and the panda spirit gets brought back. But like for like this one scene that's kind of barely consequential. I don't know. I feel like that's not the episode 7 is not really necessary per se, but it's a. I think it's a necessary. I think it's a necessary episode because it kind of deals a lot with the whole mortal spirit realms thing. But I forgot about it completely. That's it for book 1. So let me just go continue watching the series and maybe, hopefully, just like get away with this. Anyway, see you guys later for book 2, Earth. Come on, Tom. Let's see what your book is like.